having spent another night in our little place next to the farms, we're on our way to Snoopy Island. We're just going to fill up some water. So you do find these kind of water stations all over the UAE in the cities. It's really the people of the house. They provide free water, cold water for anybody who needs it, who passes by. It's very much a symbol of Arabic hospitality. We're going to spend our day today at Sandy Beach Hotel, which is quite a nice place to enjoy the day. It has a little island called Snoopy Island. Is the Snoopy Island here?
Yeah.
It's just from the wrong side. You see it from the other side. It looks like Snoopy lying down. Snoopy from the Peanuts comics. Peanuts comic. Snoopy is the dog. And this is Sandy Beach Hotel over here. You can see the island's quite close to the hotel, and there are a lot of coral there, so it's a very nice area to snorkel. You can actually walk to the island if it's low tide, or just paddle along. There are lots of fish that you can have a look at. This whole coast here is diving heaven.
Marine reserve.
And it's a marine reserve, so they do protect the coral. They plant coral developing devices to try and encourage the fish life. There's also a fishing village close by, but it's a very popular destination for people to come to. There are also a lot of hotels around here, but they big and fancy, whereas we do like Sandy Beach. One, it's easy to get to Snoopy Island, and two, it's just a nice family hotel. It's a very old hotel. It was already here when we arrived in 1999. You can see Snoopy now, a little bit better, although still not quite 100% angle. We'll try and get a better angle later in the day when in the car. But you can see its head and its belly. The hotel has improved a lot over the years. It now has a very nice playing area for the kids, beach area, and quite a lot more shaded areas to sit. You can hire snorkeling equipment here. We have to go find out the prices because my dear husband, after I did ask him a couple of times this week to pack our diving stuff, still left it behind. So now we're going to have to just hire, probably just a snorkel and goggles so we can see. But you can see the island's really close. You can swim around the island too. A lot of different fish. We have the black tip reef shark, whatever it's called, like that here as well, but they are not dangerous at all. Very skittish, so you can be very lucky to see them. They have turtles. And it's only 105 dirhams if it's a weekday. So today is Sunday, which is a weekday because our weekends are Thursday, Friday. But the reason that we are here and there are many kids, it's actually the school's half term. So that's why we're traveling around UAE. So it's all very pretty. It's still quite hot today. It's 35 degrees, they say. The sea temperature is 30. You find in winter, it can actually get too cold to swim. But then the water is crystal blue or aquamarine. It's really, really beautiful. And at the moment, it does look a little bit hot and muggy. This is a new swimming pool. Since we've been here, it's really pretty. It's nice and cold. So when you're really hot and the sea is still too warm, you can come here and cool down. Inside bar. little bungalows that you can use, stay in. It's quite pricey, but quite a lot cheaper than all the other big hotels that are around here. Sandy Beach was the first hotel, and then all the big, the Meridian, the Intercontinental, and all of those, they jumped on the wagon too, and they've also got space along the beach here. And here we have Mr. relaxing, enjoying the views. Yeah. So there you go, there's our view. And we're going to go swim now because it's time to swim. It's a very nice quiet afternoon here at Snoopy Island. You can see in the distance there people are getting into the water. Are they close to the island snorkeling? As we didn't have our own snorkeling equipment, it's actually quite expensive, and we've actually done this quite a few times, so we've decided not to snorkel. We'll go for a swim though, see what we can see, but we won't actually snorkel. It's quite a nice breeze now. Water is on a quarter tank, and we need to fill it up with some water. We did try at an ADNOC station, but they didn't have a proper tap. So we are still at Sandy Beach, and they have very kindly allowed us to use one of the taps. The UAE is not a vanning country. They are not used to caravans and things. A very nice car in front of us. That's also part of the UAE, all the fancy cars. I didn't mention last night though, late in the afternoon we had the police visit us again. Not to moan at us, but they were actually very concerned. Obviously there was a local in the area, still concerned that this van was standing in the middle of nowhere with no apparent life around it. And so the police came and they just wanted to check that we were okay. And we said, no, we're fine, we've got water and food and we can move. And when they were happy with that, they left us. So again, just showing that it's not a vanning country. In any other country, you would know that it's somebody in a van just staying over. But here, it's very unique and very different. We still got problems with our power. We still can't get the power to work from the car battery. Not quite sure how we're going to get around it. We might have to cut our trip short or try and find power from somewhere. Are these also the Sharjah mountains?
Yeah.
We're on our way now to Dibba. We're going to have a look and see if we're going to overnight there or if we're going to carry on in the direction of Jebel Hafeet, which is basically going across the country to the west side, or the middle actually, I suppose. This is very pretty here. It's one of my favorite places in the UAE. The mountains, there's the sea. Here will be owned by Emirati. The expats don't normally have camper vans, but they still don't van as such. They will find a place and then they will just stay there. In winter especially, they go into the desert. They have winter camps there, and then they camp there. They go over there for the weekends. And the Emiratis, it's only recently really that they've started getting all these big camper vans that they take. Before they used to have like a caravan kind of thing. Actually, this one here, I'll just zoom in on it. They have more like these vans. We've decided to go to Jebel Jais, which is also called Wadi. Jebel in Arabic means mountain, so we've been to Jebel Hafeet, so the mountain of Hafeet. Now we're at Jebel Jais.
And Wadi means river.
And a wadi means, yes, well, it's like a valley, a riverbed. At the moment, it is, what's the time now? 6
o'clock.
6 o'clock, and the temperature is
34
degrees centigrade. So we're going to see how much cooler it is as we go up the mountain pass. This one's a little bit more rustic. Many years ago when we came here, this was all sand roads and you could really only do it with 4x4. Now it's very popular, it's tarred all the way, and a lot of people come here just to get away. We've got a pin that somebody sent on a Facebook group of a nice spot, so that's what we're heading for. Not quite sure what the spot's going to be like. We'll find out when we get there. John is just tying down everything in the back because we're now going on rough roads and twisty roads. So just having to make sure that everything's in place. Jebel Jais is in the Emirate of Ras Al Khaimah, which is the most far northern Emirates of the UAE. If you carry on this road over the mountains, you actually get back to Hatta, where we were about an hour ago. But I think that road is closed now. It used to be open and closed, and often if it rained a lot, they closed the road because it was very dangerous. It's also part of the other part of the Oman border. So Oman is split in two. It actually have Oman, if you look on the map, then the UAE, and then the top bit, is it called the peninsula?
Masandam Peninsula.
Masandam Peninsula, that is Oman again. So again, the sort of some border issues of what belongs to which country and not always clearly marked. Good morning again from the top of Jebel Jais. We slept here last night. Look at this beautiful view. We didn't see this last night because we arrived at night. But this is really a spectacular spot. So Jebel Jais is the highest mountain of the UAE. It is 1,934 meters high. There's a new road that's come up here. You can actually see the road in the distance there. It's a beautiful tarred road. We've actually never been up this way. This road, I think, must be about 5 or 6 years old. It takes you to the new zip line. Well, it's not new anymore, which I'll talk about later. But it's a very popular destination now, especially in the summer months because it's cooler up here. When we first got to the bottom of Jebel Jais, it was 34 degrees. By the time we got to the top, it was 24, so it's really pleasant here. It's a little bit of a camping site here. It's the highest one. We do have toilets. They work enough. And the bins here, you can see that in the more popular months, this is a little food truck, so people can come here to also just have something to eat. We didn't sleep too well because at about 1 o'clock in the morning this bunch arrived and they talked and laughed and jeered the whole night long right next to us. But they were having fun. We managed to fill up with water, but we still don't have something to charge our power. And we're on about 30% now, so we're going to have to see how it goes. If we run out of power, we'll have to leave, and I don't know. We do know 1 or 2 people in Khaimah, which you actually can't see. It's far in the distance, the city of Khaimah. We know 1 or 2 people there. We might phone them and see if we can come hook up our electricity just to charge up our batteries again. I'm so happy with my view from our kitchen. Isn't that so beautiful? We are very happy at the moment with the design of our van. So we have a bed there. We're actually sleeping with our heads towards the door. The bed is 180 by 180. We bought an IKEA mattress, which is 180 by 2, but we've actually managed to squash it in. So we initially were going to cut it off, but I think we might be all right just keeping it as it is. We've got magnets in our paneling here, so we've got quite a few hooks which are actually coming in very useful. I can hang up my dish towels. Unfortunately, we didn't panel the van before we left, which is not as nice because, well, it doesn't look as great. So that is our bed, kitchen. At the moment we're using a gas cooker, but eventually we'll have an induction cooker. And then that is the front. Eventually we'll also get covers made, just blackout covers, to put in the front when we're sleeping, or like now, just to keep the sun out. And we're going to have swivel chairs as well, which will make it easier. As I said, there's our fridge, and we've got nice chairs outside. We've put up our gazebo. We've ordered a moonshade, which apparently arrived yesterday in Abu Dhabi, but it came too late for us to be able to use. So we will have a moonshade which attaches with magnets. John's job for this morning is to try and sort out our power, because we haven't got the car battery to our battery charging. Below the kitchen counter we've got our grey water tank, which is also just temporary. Every time we travel we just check out the water. I've got my rubbish bin, and then I've also got our pee funnel. So if we need to go to the toilet, we've got our bottle there. We've got a bucket in the back as well in case we need that. But so far we've only needed to use it on our first night at Jebel Hafeet, where there were no toilets, nowhere to go. Since then we've always been able to find a place to go. It's not great, but it works for the moment. But we will eventually have a composting toilet in the van, which will actually be situated in this area here underneath the drawers. And we will have a shower inside. At the moment we're showering outside. We've got a shower curtain, and if there's nobody around, that's when we shower. This is John inside working on the battery, but just showing how we're going to pack up our bicycles. We eventually want to have drawers in here that are on long sliders, so we can just slide them out. We're hoping to go riding sometime here, although it should be quite fun because it is a mountain after all, so it's all uphill for a while and then a nice down.
No yellow.
Okay, now.
Hallelujah, it's working.
So do we need to...
I've got 38 amps being pumped into the battery. Just check what's happening on the coulometer, please. Is it flat now? Since you see.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so that's working.
So are we going to keep the car running for a while now to charge it?
Yeah, yes, I think so.
Okay. We've decided to go for a little walk. So down there you can see our van. We climbed up this little gully here and have now joined the hiking trail that is at the top of the mountain. After our little hike on the mountain, we joined the road and we've now come to the highest restaurant in the UAE. So we'll go and have a look. It's a bit misty, so I don't know how much of a view we're going to get. There's this little restaurant, it's almost sunset. Way down there is our campsite. Had a few other people join us. Oh, wrong one. That's it. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's the one. I think the other one is for workmen. And there's the sun. This is the world's longest zip line. It's 2.8 kilometers long. Hopefully tomorrow we might just go and have a look at the start of it and see exactly where it goes. The new ride that they're building, what is it, John?
Toboggan.
It's a toboggan, so it's, you can see it going all the way down the mountain there. That should be a lot of fun too. Good morning again. So today we're going to go for a ride up this mountain. I haven't done this for years, so we'll see how it goes, if I'll make it to the top. We normally just cycle on flat ground around our area, so we'll see if we're fit enough to pedal up this mountain. It was a bit of a fail on my part. I've decided that walking is actually faster than cycling, and I can do that. But coming back will be nice because it's all downhill. But John, being the cyclist, he can do this. But I need to train a bit to do this kind of terrain. There in the distance, shining in the sun, you can see the toboggan track coming all the way down. It's not finished yet. You can see as far as they've got. But that looks like quite a hair-raising ride as well. This is just an example of one of the zip lines here at Jebel Hafeet. You can follow the line going down, and I'll just show what you're going over. The deep gully down there. That's what you would zip line over. This is one of the shorter ones. This is the start of zip line. Goes along over this gorge. This is the camping area, one just before us. We've just walked to. You can see there lots of food trucks. I would assume that they would be open over the weekends when people are here. We've actually been surprised at how many visitors we've had where we're staying. Just people driving up, having a look and then carrying on. A couple of them camping over. Some of them arriving in the middle of the night, making a heck of a noise and then leaving again. From here you can also see that is the wadis, the riverbeds. Yeah. You can see that they're a little bit higher up because it is a wadi, it is a riverbed, so when it rains you get a lot of flash floods in these areas. We don't have rivers in the UAE because it's so dry. And as I say, when it rains, it all flash floods and floods into the sea or just seeps into the ground. Sometimes they pools, which are quite nice to go to. You can also see the very rugged rocks. Unfortunately, I'm not a geographer or geologist, so